Hello, welcome back. Last time I reached an interlude of sorts, and although I may have missed some sort of path upward in it, or maybe not, I am now in a new section that appears to be a single room rather than a big mega room with a bunch of checkpoints in it. Alright, so today is probably just a day of parsing, unless I get real ambitious and think I can finish. I mean, last time that worked out. Ah, you brought the death plane down there. I thought I could climb down the mountain in that spot. Probably not a mountain, it's just a tiny little floating island in space, wherever the heck I am, where gravity does whatever it wants. But flowers are able to grow, and there's water around. Life flourishes in this place. I have no idea where I'm going, I'm just going to try a few directions, so that's a mover. Where you're starting me feels like the suggestion is a super and then... let's see. Something like that. That's a possible start. You exist to do seemingly not much. Yeah, that sure isn't very much. Okay, this is going to the right. That far to the right. Room ends here. Okay. Let's start from the start. So horizontal mover, where are there obstacles that will get in your way? There's one with a spring, so I need to drop that probably. Is the bottom one an obstacle? Yes. So both of these. That door. This thing's gonna stop it, right? Yeah. This thing right here. It may drop. It better drop because there's no other way through. Okay. That one's low enough that it doesn't matter. This... what about that? Well, if the door's in the way, then this one will be too. So double spring platform at the very least ends here. Right around the time the touch switch is hit. Okay. Right, yeah, so how many movers are there of any consequence? There's a... okay, floor switch there. For that door. Am I seeing 3 colors of touch switch now? That's yellow, that's white. Or has yellow just replaced brown? Here's where yellow starts. I think yellow just replaced brown. Okay. I guess there was a red one recently, so it hasn't been the same 2 colors the whole time. Alright, so I'm gonna get some guidance for where I'm going based on where the touch switches fly away to. I think it does not make sense to go left to right here in this spot. However, I will probably do that later. First I get this moving. Chase away that switch. Maybe then I go here and do this stuff, or maybe I go over top. Okay, let's actually just start with this part. That's really awkward. I can get used to it. It's mostly awkward because of a yum-yum sort of reason. Lots of dash eating in this spot. The top of that is unspiky, and that is probably the moment when I want to spend it on a wave dash that'll put me in there. Dash right into that spring, interrupt down left. Up, right, down, get that thing. I don't get the point of that little mover. There's a lot of stuff I don't get the point of here. Anyway, this thing goes to the right. How far does it go? It will collide with the floor switch, so I probably want to press that first. The top is safe. You will be a good friend. Okay, I want to get to the point where I'm going down this shaft, if that is indeed the route, or discover why it's not. Okay, yeah, that's lined up for a wave dash. Just do this sequence of things. If I truncate my input slightly, I think I can go where I want to go. I didn't do that there, though. This is just very confusing with the way the springboards are doing things. What? Yeah, I need to truncate a little more than that. Just a short little jump tap. Okay, so that took me straight into the spring. I still had a dash, so if I wished to, I could probably use another one. I don't think I'm getting there in time to do the yellow thing. Like, that's gonna be in the way. Therefore, do I do it first? Okay, so what's the regrowth status of those crystals? Hey. Whoa! Right, I start facing this way, of course. It could be that this is what it wants first. Whoops. It'd be weird, but it could be. That crystal doesn't regrow. Okay, I'm trying to see things... Yeah. This is a surprisingly awkward little jump right here. Neither of those crystals regrows. What do I predict the next touch switch spots are? Well, I have to touch them all. It'll be in some order. Well, I think it's white, yellow, white, yellow. Probably white, yellow, white, that's the last white, white, it's not, yellow. Okay, something like that. Have I always alternated colors? Maybe. I've just never noticed. That sounds like something that would happen that I would not notice. Oops. I think if I'm fast I can make it there, actually. I just need to understand what springboards do, which is something I've never been able to do. I don't know why, just my ability to do anything is disabled by the presence of the springboard objects. I guess it's just because they so abruptly change my direction, and as long as I've been working with them, I still don't really have good intuition for what my resulting direction will be. Like, I kind of vaguely know, but the specifics are just never clear to me. Because it's not a continuation of my previous line of motion. It just imparts its own. Well, dashes do that too, but dashes are a little more straightforward about it. And also I control them. Yeah, that's the other thing. Springboards happen when I get close to them. Dash happens when I press a button. So I stay in control. So I need to do that wave dash a little later than I have been. Is that so? No, I think I need to do the up left dash a little lower than I have been. So earlier, like that. Okay. In fact, buffer it. Okay, don't dash into the springboard, dash down left out of it. Here we go, okay. Don't know what the point of that crystal is, and I have no idea what I'm doing now, but I did accomplish my goal. So now, parse the rest of the room. I can't jump high enough to get over those spikes there. Yeah, so now is the point when I can ignore that. It's iffy, but maybe I can. Can I do like a really long bunny hop here? Don't think that's how I want to do it. Yeah, there's just no great way to get here. Surely you're not actually asking me to do that, though. Let me just see if it is possible. Well, problem is only one answer is conclusive. The other one I could never know. I sure want that to be impossible, so maybe I should say, just assume that it is. But if that was impossible, then how am I getting from here to anywhere else? Well, now hold on. What if... So during, right, so a super will involve more speed. Can I do that silly thing I did there? Yes? Okay, what? So a little back and forth bunny hop. Whoa, that is something. Okay, well, let's try it in a real context. I'm gonna try something else too. If I do like a half ultra out of the out of this, can I aim that at that springboard and actually hit it? Because I don't really like modulating my jump again if I can press a button instead of release a button significantly before. It's easier to time and understand. Yes, okay, that works, and it also gets me there faster. In case winning that race becomes important. Okay. Alright, so that's preferable. I really do need to interrupt that springboard, like, the very moment I touch it. Like that, okay. Alright, so then that thing... What am I doing after I touch this, theoretically? There'll be a springboard up there. Here's something pink. I don't know what this green crystal's for. I guess I could dash down with it to move slightly faster? Okay, let's assume that's what it's for. Reverse wave dash on this, all the way over there. Then I could actually just... Well, no, you probably want another reverse wave dash. And hop on that. I mean, yeah, that makes the jump over these spikes possible. It may be possible without it, but it makes it more possible. I could probably air super on this with some effort. If I did that, I'd be up here. That thing would be above my head. I'm worried the springboard might abduct me and shove me forwards. I'm sure I need to go down there before proceeding. The entire left side of that is spiky. Yeah, so I think my goal is to wall bounce. Yeah, alright. So the way back from that is a wall bounce on this thing. Then I use the spring on the rightward moving thing. That spring where the yellow will be. Use green while interrupting down to go into that spring. Then get on top of this thing, which will be around there at some point. Maybe I'm actually doing a... Whew. A wave dash on that? That pit is too deep. Like, the floor level of that will be... too deep for a wave dash. Okay. But anyway, at some point I get to that floor switch... I could wave dash on it. I've seen I can do that, as in the first room. Or second, whichever one that was. So I'm approaching this from bottom left. Weirdly, I think the sequence is actually... Whoa, that's way up there. Oh, is this another floor switch I don't touch for a long time? I have to go up and wall bounce on that first, then switch it? At that point, the right mover will have passed by me, I think? This is a right mover, this is a right mover, this is a right mover right here. That's important. Okay, this is a right mover. I need to remember to look for those because I don't always see them. And it's just impossible to say what'll happen in that section because it's way too far in the future. I don't know how things will line up. I don't know how many of the things I saw prior to there are actually accurate. Oops. I just need to get used to this opening a little more. Oops, okay. Nope. There are clear targets to aim at, it's just... I'm not great at following those. Alright, so that's a very late ultra. But also, I need to do that from lower so I can do the wave dash immediately. And that's a very early interrupt. Late ultra, early interrupt. Okay. Okay, I need to be thinking differently. Okay, getting closer to being able to think differently. Maybe I should try this more slowly first. No, I need to understand how to do it. Like, I can see how it wants to be done, I think. I'm just not managing to reverse my hyper wave dash on that spot. Ah. Again, springboards. Just, I have no springboard intuition for whatever reason. Just don't do the next wave dash, just 2. Okay, so that was a record, by the way. Ah. Weird, funny, awkward thing to get used to, but I will get there. Here we go. Alright, huh. Well, that was a little late, but yeah, I think I want to air super in that spot. Or is that a... Is that a corner boost? Is that what they call that? Because the top of the left wall is not spiky. So I could air super, but let's try the other move, this one. It will leave me dashless. And how far does it go? Too far? What if I turn around? I mean, that was an air super. I mean, that trajectory could lead down here where I get the pink crystal. It's gonna depend on timing. Let's do that without the top part because I can. Okay, so I want to practice, well... No, I'll do this the easy way, that's fine. This is another one of those spots where it's nice that I can skip an early portion to practice a later one. To a point I can do that. At some point I'll have to stop doing it that way. This is fun. That's a cool move that I've never quite had to do that way before. I mean, it's a weird situation. Alright, so that didn't summon the spikes. How far can I go in this practice route? Still didn't summon the spikes. I don't know where I'm going. Here? I have no idea. Okay, getting better at that. Can I reach that top spring first, or do I have to do the bottom one first? Whoa! Why did I go so high? I didn't try the corner boost method yet. That involves the climb button, and we know what I think of the climb button. Oh, it doesn't move it. Okay, good. That clearly shows that's not what I want. That's probably unspiky just to allow for the corner correction on the air super. Yeah, because if it were spiky, the timing window would be smaller. I can hit the top one right away. And if I dashed earlier, I could have been in a state to be able to dash there for that. That goes up! Fascinating. Okay. That's the wrong order. So I've decided the correct order. Ah. This is another one of those, like, dark surface against a dark background that makes it hard for me to see what I'm aiming at. I had this problem a lot in, well, several levels. Ah, springboard timing. Just, I don't know where I'll be after I've interacted with one, ever. That's not a full jump. Yeah, that's what a full jump looks like. I mean, I guess I could edge left a little bit. Okay, then what? Yep. Okay, so again, like the bright white spikes stand out, but they're not what I need to aim for. I have to aim above them. Okay, so that's a right dash there, I think. Right dash into the spring, then what? Ah! Down, right... I guess down? Okay. Okay. So, there's an extra thingy doing stuff for me. Oh... Okay. So here's my thoughts. What did I jump off of? After I missed my wave dash, I jumped right off of something in this spot. Is there an invisible moon block in the air there? Did I get coyote time? Maybe I got coyote time. For that long, though? No. I'll go frame by frame in editing and see what happens. Sometimes weird things happen. It was that funny corner pop I got when I was getting the solar strawberry in paint, and people later told me is some technique beyond what this game's Grandmaster will teach. So I did something really fancy by accident there. Okay, so it's... upright, interrupt, down. Right, interrupt, down. Jump right, jump right. Upright, down, right, down. Upright, down, right, down. Upright, down, right, down. There we go. Then... timing. I'm gonna need to involve mover 1 shortly just to see where it is fits into this picture. Upright, I was very late and I wall bounced badly. Wall bounce late, upright, down, right, down. See, now that wasn't a problem on my previous attempt. But on these last two it has been. That didn't work. Can I get just a little more airtime first, so that other thing goes away quicker? Well, no, that didn't work actually. What do I think I'm doing, then? Do I do a jump here and a wave dash there to get to the switch, and then... So instead of wall bouncing on that, I will have a springy thing coming to the right. If I could use its spring to get up here... Then where do I think I'm going? Dunno. Let's learn how the leftmost mover gets involved in this picture. Remember how awkward that part is to do. Very. Okay, well, maybe a little more prepared to do the bunny hopping stuff there, but it's, again, it's different from the situation in practice. I can revert... Yeah, I can just revert to the way I have been doing it. I'll just put my feet on the ground and initiate a hyper from there. Clearly it wants me to reverse wave dash, but I'd kind of rather not, if I don't have to. Oops. Whoa! Okay. But I never remember how I want to do it. Alright, land, hyper left. Land, then hyper left. Or reverse wave dash left. Land, hyper left, hyper right, do this, and then I gotta land that part. So my headroom is a little more limited there than what I was used to. I tried to do it the fancy way, it didn't work out. Yeah, I think I'd rather do a grounded, non-extended hyper there. It is a question of whether I can get away with that timing-wise. But the difference is so small, I suspect the answer is yes. If I need to squeeze just a little bit more speed out of this, then that's, I guess, where I'll have to do it. So that thing's closing in pretty quick as I'm doing the operations post that part. Let's see if I can see what that will actually look like. Nah. Remember to interrupt that spring early. I don't know why that's so hard for me to remember, but it just is. Don't interrupt that so early, so wait a little bit longer after the upright. Okay. That wave dash fails way more often than I would prefer. Oh, and right. Direction is wrong. It's that direction. Hup, 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 hup. I didn't make it. By the way, it's upright, down, right, down. Maybe. Oh, right, not up, left there. That is the direction I'm going, but not by those means. Nope. Wait, that actually was good. It was just right at the limit, and I thought it was beyond it. Okay, remember. Remember a lot of things. This long list of instructions. Hub. No, that was a bad wall bounce. Why was it so bad? I guess just because it was too early. Oh, there's also an aspect of if I do it too quickly, then I won't get the right boost, but no, like that wall bounce just is always feeling super bad. I think I still did it too early, so just focus on being late with that. Focus on being late. Yes, good late one. That down dash is not gonna work, is it? Okay, so now is when I go back to this practice. Because the thing above didn't seem like it was relevant to understanding this next part here. Hup, 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 hup. Yeah, see, like, that's what happens when I don't get the rightward boost from the movement of this thing. So I have to be brushing against it. Wait, what? Okay, well, some of that was what I wanted to do. Just this whole exchange, right? this exchange right here. That one, I don't like it. Not one bit. Gotta just watch some things. Okay. Let's say I did this, and then, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen down here, or when. Okay, here's a query I can get the answer to. Ooh, you sure about that? Which of these two does the white switch go to first? It has to be up here, right? I don't know that. To get the answer to that... Yeah, white is all the way up there. I have to do this all the way. Alright. That's the question of the day. Which of those two does the white thing go to? Maybe I can just watch the direction it flies off after I touch it on the bottom. Yeah, that's an easy way to answer that. Where do you fly? You fly up. You clearly fly up. So top is before bottom. Alright, that's the way I was gonna do it. What do I think I'm doing here? When I'm there, on this platform... I think I want to land a wave dash when the platform's right here. So jump there, wave dash into it here. Maybe. I think I want to air hyper on this switch without lowering it. Dash up, wall bounce, get that, get down there, hit the switch just in time. Can that be quick enough? Maybe. Then afterward, I hit the bottom spring. I interrupt... Down left somehow. This falls some direction, I assume. Can I learn which way that falls? Okay, that's a good query to run. Which way and how fast? Ugh. Down and at normal speed. Okay. It has two springboards and I'm not 100% sure why. Perhaps I'm using the top one on the way back from this situation. In order to hit... I guess get my feet back on that thing? Whose time with me is going to end right in this spot. So putting my feet on there... Looks like as the last action, that sets up an ultra on this? Getting me to the yellow... Dash upright, dash up, veer left, put feet on that, then use the tall one, which is, at that point, having died here. So that's no good. Perhaps first, I scale it just as I do at the start, in order to hit the white thing up here. Then its time with me ends. So I'm not... What's this for, then? I don't know. And how do I proceed beyond this point? I gotta get all the way there? You are still around. So this will be the key to that, maybe? Wait, no you're not. That one dies when? Here. The bottom of it will hit the top left corner of the thing in the center of the screen. By the time I'm Okay, so where is each one guaranteed to die? Tall one is like that. The left mover dies right here, so that's one. The tall one dies actually here, doesn't it? Okay, where's the top of it? It does miss if the door is open. That thing falls away. Okay, tall one dies here. So its last act is to give me access to that white switch. The bottom one dies here. So its last act is to get me to safety post this yellow switch. At least that's the hope. Where's the bottom of the tall one? In line with, like, 2 tiles down from this thing that's gonna fall. So in line with the bottom of the top part of the spikes. Sure. So that's this amount of distance from... The right mover at the bottom is 1 tile higher than my floor level when I super here and dash up into the spring. So from standing on that thing, I can definitely reach the spring and use it to climb. That would be here in this spot. Climbeth spring, climbeth other spring. I'll be pink at this point. But why? I don't know, there's a lot of mysteries at the end of this. I think I've done as much parsing of this as I'm going to do today. And I'll understand the rest next time, hopefully.